After yesterday's conversation about microtransactions in modern AAA video games, guess what? We've got another one for you, so get ready for more of us ranting about the same old shit because these companies just never learn. My name's Henry Cooper and I'm here with Mr. Gareth Evans.
I'm feeling quite ranty today. I might get a rant on.
Oh, good.
You never know.
Because I'm going to need some energy to talk about this bullshit again. But the game in question this time is Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Now, if you haven't heard, that's a upcoming semi-loot shooter thing from Ubisoft, kind of third person, trying to be tactical. You're crawling through the mud using camouflage, which sounds kind of interesting, but there might be a game in those microtransactions you just bought.
Somewhere. It's great how they aptly called it Breakpoint, because the community is at its breaking point with their f***ing monetization
right.
in these shitty excuse for a game AAA things that they're shitting out these days. There you go, rant one over.
So just let's hit a few talking points on the head right away. They're not just cosmetic, so if you want to throw out that argument, you can do one. They're in a full-priced game, and there's also a battle pass system, which you'll also have to pay for on top of all of these microtransactions. There's a bunch of pre-order bonuses, there's a bunch of stupid deluxe editions, and the game comes out on Friday if you're interested.
Many people are saying that this is the worst example of monetization in any AAA game ever, and that even beats Battlefront 2. It doesn't quite have loot boxes, but the extent to the microtransactions in this game are horrendous.
Now they keep saying that everything will be earnable through in-game actual gameplay, but we all know that's not how these things work, and you'll probably end up having to pay using Ghost Coins. What a fabulous name, Ghost Coins.
Well, that's what your money is in your pocket these days, Ghost Coins, because it's like they want it all, so it's like they're not really there anymore because they've got it.
Now there's a whole thing posted on Reddit which is screenshot after screenshot after screenshot after screenshot of the store, and it goes on and on and on. Just when you think, oh, this is just a store, it's just, it's got its microtransactions, we've seen this all before, but then it doesn't ever stop. They're in different packs, as they usually are, for premium currencies, so you can get 600, 1,300, 2,800, 5,800, or 12,000. And now the screenshots are in Singapore dollars, so the currency isn't quite one-to-one because I haven't got anything for US dollars or Great British pound sterling, but it's more than likely to work out that 600 coins will be about $4.99, 1,300 coins will be about $9.99, 2,800 will be $19.99, 5,800 will be $39.99, and 12,000 will be $79.99. And again, that's not completely one-to-one accurate because exchange rates change all the time and we haven't got the actual American figures, but you do get an eye patch on your first purchase so that you can roleplay the thieving pirate, which is exactly what Ubisoft are.
Oh.
Now, in terms of what's on sale, I could save you a lot of time and just say everything. But we're going to go through a rundown.
No, it's not just everything, but it's everything you can even think of as part of a game. Anything you can think of in the game, you can buy. So
but you can earn it. You can earn it. I promise. So what you can buy are bundles that contain guns, bundles that contain blueprints to make guns, so that's crafting, and I love this little description they have. Unlock weapon blueprints to facilitate your progress in the early game.
Weapon blueprints are things that are scattered around the map, so when you collect them, you're able then to buy or create a weapon using that blueprint. So blueprints are basically a shortcut to getting a new weapon, essentially.
Yes. There's bundles for attachments on guns. You can buy individual attachments and individual guns. You can get cosmetic shirts, armor, backpacks, tattoos, and emotes. Melee weapons like knives, gear, camo, and paint. Skill points, and we'll come back to that one.
This is the worst. All right, carry on for now.
Weapon upgrades, and just to be clear, your weapons and gear carry over into PvP, not just PvE, so it's pay to win. So there's that one there too, just in case you'd missed that. And battle point boosters and reward tiers. So they've got the battle pass type system, but you can just buy the rewards outright. Forget about working, forget about earning it, which is what a lot of these things like to market themselves as. There's an achievement. Nope, just pay X amount and you can have it outright. Now, the skill points one is where things are particularly offensive, especially as they literally put it under the banner of time savers. They're not even trying to hide that they don't want you to play your game. Why would you advertise that you want people to speed up playing your game? It's not worth playing. Just pay for it.
I'm offended.
So you can purchase skills to level up, like regular skill points, and then put them into your character. So if you pay, let's say, just shy of $20, $19.99 for 2,800 coins, you can spend most of those to get 60 skill points. All right, so presumably that's a decent amount of skill points to put into your character, and then you'll have 400 left over of that original 2,800. Maybe buy yourself a nice plain grey hoodie for your character for only 480 coins.
Bargain.
You can outright buy the upgrades, and it's just more of this classic pay to skip the grind type bullshit that we see time and time again in modern video games.
I mean, they introduced it, and it was a big thing in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, where you pay for these speed boosters so you get XP quicker. They make the game grindy to incentivize it. It's a lot of bullshit, and they're carrying it through here, and they're doubling down on everything else as well. So you thought that it was bad to begin with. They've made this absolutely worse.
You can also buy what they call Skell credits, and that's the earnable in-game currency you get by looting and completing missions and playing Ghost War matches. So that's the multiplayer type stuff, I believe. But again, this can also be bought with premium Ghost coins. So anything you have earned, you can just skip that, forget about actually doing it, and just pay for it. And on top of all of this microtransaction bullshit, which is extensive, and I can't really be asked to go into much more detail because hundreds of other people have already jumped on it. But let's just talk about some of the other bad stuff this game's got going for it, such as the year one pass. And my immediate thought is that it's bold of them to assume that they'll have a relevant player base, a willing player base after a year.
Right, it's a Ubisoft game.
But that's $40 on top of your $60 price tag. So immediately, if you want the actual amount of content, that's $100 outright, pretty much. And then there's all of the ludicrous different special editions, which Ubisoft are infamous for. And of course, these all come with pre-order bonuses if you want to buy into that bullshit, which include in-game vehicles, weapons, and outfits. But I trust that most of our viewers won't be doing any sort of that nonsense. There's of course the standard edition, which is $60, and that gets you the game. And that's it, you filthy little peasant.
Bloody peasant! Oh, what a giveaway. Did you hear that? Did you hear that, eh?
Then there's the gold edition, which is $109.99 in physical or $99.99 in digital, because it comes with a steelbook, and obviously you can't have that digitally. But you do also get the game, you get it 3 days early, and you get the 1 year battle pass thing, which again sells for $40 normally. There's the ultimate edition, which is $129.99 physical, $199.99 digital. There's a lot of nines here, which gets you the game, the 1 year pass, the ultimate pack, which is a bunch of in-game items, and a bonus mission. So that is actual content that is locked away now. And you can argue, oh, it's just cosmetics, but then there's an actual mission, so that's gone.
It's actual part of the game that they've chiseled off. You pay extra money, you get extra game. That's the way it is.
And then there's the Wolves Collector's Edition, which is the really big one, which is $189.99. And that gets you the game. Good start. 3 days early, 1 year pass, the ultimate pack, the bonus mission, a Cole D. Walker figurine, and I believe that's the guy that John Bernthal is playing. And to be fair, it's quite a cool looking figurine.
Don't even say it.
But it's 189 quid. What are you doing?
It looks shit. I don't care. I don't care if you like the look of it. It's shit. It's all bullshit.
Why would you pay for that? Oh, I don't know. Then you get a confidential file with 3 lithographs, Walker dog tag, a waterproof map, a soundtrack, and a steelbook.
Well, I kind of get the collector's edition. I kind of get that one, right?
Because that's for physical stuff. For
people like physical tat. I get that. Not for me, but I can understand it. I mean, so to try and pick this apart, the first thing that strikes me is how you buy XP, right? You buy progression on your character. Usually, your character goes out, fulfills a mission, you get XP, you get to a certain amount of XP, your character levels up. Now you can just buy that outright. You buy skill points, right? And then you can use those to unlock and make your character better. You could, if you've got a credit card, you can just buy that shit. And to my mind, I've never seen anything like this. This is ridiculous. That just means you can just pay and not have to play the game at all. You don't have to play the game. You've got a credit card. You're fine. Pay for the game. Pay to skip the game. Done. Next game. At the very least, it's a solution to the problem where there's so many games releasing these days. You haven't got all the time to get through them. So as long as you've got a credit card, you can get through all of these games. You don't even have to play them. Bonus. Maybe that's what they're going for here.
There's so many games better than ours, so pay all this money to only play it for 3 hours, and then you can move on to the superior products that other people have made.
This is a Ubisoft game, right? And this is what's different between the game we're talking about today, which is filled with bullshit, which is Ghost Recon Breakpoint, and the game we talked about yesterday, which was filled with bullshit, which was Gears 5 and the multiplayer section, right? Because it's a Ubisoft game, the multiplayer and the single player are together in one. There's no distinction between the two. It's seamless multiplayer, as they call it. That's what they do, right? Therefore, all the progress that you get with your character in single player carries over to multiplayer. It's not like separate like it would be in like Gears. That makes it very, very complicated. If you're paying for advantages in your single player game, is one problem. Sometimes people are okay with that because you're not playing multiplayer, but But because it's seamless here, and both things are the same in the Ubisoft game, you're literally paying to win by buying skill points and speed ups and all sorts of new weapons and stuff for your character. You're literally paying to win. And then you would jump into the PvP. Your character's like fully equipped because he's got a gold credit card or whatever. It's ridiculous. Like this is shameless.
I feel like the only thing this game is missing is a loot box or like a slot machine type thing, but I wouldn't hold my breath because that's probably coming in an update. Breakpoint airdrops, get a random weapon drop in for you or something like that.
Know it's going. The next point I've got is that if you've got features like this where you like skip grind or you get new gear or whatever, this should be included in the price of admission for the game, because everyone who wants to play this game as a single player, this isn't a single player game. They pitch it as that, but it's not really, because it's always multiplayer.
Just as much as Anthem was a single player game.
And usually the excuse for charging money for this extra content is that they need to fund extra development of the game, but in this case they don't, because the game is already made. And we mentioned it yesterday, the microtransaction sympathizers are the ones that say, oh, they need extra development money because they need to keep. They don't. This is for the people who want to play this game single player. The content is all already there and it should be included in the price of admission, but no, it's all locked behind a paywall.
Oh no, but it's your choice, right? You can choose to play and make it easier for yourself by getting these upgrades. Well, if it really was a choice, why charge for it?
And this game is the worst example of monetization that I have ever seen, that's for sure. So therefore, no game has ever been worse than this when it comes to microtransactions. So it's not like people can say, well, it's not as bad as this game and it's not bad as that game. Well, at the very least, it hasn't got loot boxes, which would be the cherry on top, but it doesn't have that, right?
Give it time.
It's literally pay to win, and it's not any better than any other game. This is the worst. So it's a new benchmark for bad monetization. So again, there's no justification for that. It's like when you want to try and condone this, there's no justification. You're clutching at straws. There's no way you can condone this. This is bullshit. It's all absolute bullshit. And I remember when they actually pitched the game, and the initial kind of pitch was quite enticing to me, because they focused the marketing around like the survival aspect, the fact that you're behind enemy lines and cut off from the outside world. Things like you've got to heal yourself in the field, you can blend into the environments using their like prone blending or whatever the feature is that they're called. And it all sounded pretty immersive. So as a immersive shooter like that, it sounded awesome, right? But apparently you're never alone when you have a credit card in your pocket.
Yep, exactly. That's the real Ghost, as we said earlier. The Ubisoft are haunting your wallet.
And a bit of a side note here too, from what I've played of the beta, this whole immersion pitch that they were throwing out to begin with was totally destroyed when I got like an hour in. You enter this like community hub where there's loads of other online players running around. I'm like, this never was a single player survival immersive game. It never was that. It was always going to be a generic mishmash of Ubisoft ideas focused around their ability to access your cash, because that's what this is. This isn't a game. It's a 3D digital storefront with an incredibly high entry fee. You pay £60 to get into this shop, this 3D shop you can run around and shoot people in, and then they throw other products at you so that you can buy them. This isn't a game. Like, anyone who's trying to say that this is a game is absolutely deluded.
I feel like Ubisoft is just trying to up themselves after 2K released NBA 2K20 with all of their horrendous literal gambling mechanics in it, and Ubisoft have been like, well, we've got to try and do something just as bad, so let's we won't do the gambling thing because that's maybe going to be illegal in a year or so let's do loads of microtransactions instead.
Imagine you're one of the developers, right, and you work, you put heart and soul into a game. You're like, you did some art or you did some animation, or just something like that, right, and you sweated and poured your artistry into the game, right, and then you have all of your work undermined by this monetization, right? This whole thing destroys the artistry in this game. This game could possibly be very good. Questionable decisions around community hubs in a immersive game to one side, but the whole fact that this, you can get your credit card out and buy your way through a game is ridiculous. And people might ask, oh, why are you making a video of this? Everyone else has made a video about it. But it's important that we do raise the volume on this and add our voices to the discussion, because people need to know that this is not acceptable and we should be trying to spread that message. The more people that know about how bad this is, the better. So if we can contribute to that, then hopefully we're doing a good thing that can let Ubisoft know, finally, that we won't stand for it. There's no response as yet from Ubisoft. No. Kotaku have reached out for some sort of response from them, and I'm sure numerous other outlets have too, but they're so far kept stum on it. Nobody's said anything. For my money, just boycott this game. This is not a game. This is an excuse for them to access your cash. If anybody buys this game and doesn't like the microtransactions, you're not doing anybody a favor. You're literally incentivizing them to do this again. And just speak with your cash. I'm boycotting this game. I was initially very interested, but all that's out the window now. I'm totally disgusted by what they've done here as a game. It's a new benchmark for bullshit, and don't worry about it, guys. The Outer Worlds is out in a few weeks' time, so we can all calm down and play an actual game. And I think what's important is that we support developers that don't have additional monetization in the game. All right, it is Obsidian and they've been bought by Microsoft, so their future games might be different. But for the Outer Worlds, from what I understand, there's no additional monetization in it. So therefore, I think we should support developers who do the right thing by buying and signal boosting their games. Don't support this game, guys. Please do not buy Breakpoint if you are of the same mind as me and you don't think that additional monetization in full price games should be a thing. That's just my 2 cents.
You could save yourself a load of money and just directly mail them your credit card and PIN if you want to give them all your money, which is what they definitely want. But anyway, let us know down in the comments, were you thinking about getting Breakpoint, or has all of this bullshit put you off like it has us? Make sure you hit that like button and the subscribe button and the bell button to stay notified when we upload next. Go on over to our Patreon at patreon.com/prettygoodgaming and support us, because we are not greedy developers. We are struggling YouTubers who need your money. Please,
Absolutely.
we are begging on the floor. I've been Henry, he's been Gaz. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.